As we probably all know, recently the Nintendo Switch 2 just dropped, and boy are people talking about it. Now I know by the time this video goes up, it will probably be around the time that probably every opinion was said and heard. But I'm gonna yap about it anyway. Nintendo has made a name for itself when it comes to its titles. I'm sure we all know what the Wii is. I absolutely loved Wii Sports and Smash Bros. Brawl. Now, when looking at the Switch 2, it feels more like an upgrade rather than a brand new console, like the Wii U to the Wii, which a lot of people didn't really like. But in my opinion, I thought it wasn't that bad as someone who had one. Looking back, I definitely got it because of Splatoon and my love for Smash Bros. So, without me yapping in this intro for too long, let's get right into it. Now, looking at the Switch 2 itself, it doesn't look that bad. Obviously, it has about the same exact look as the original, the difference being in both size and color. Having a larger screen with larger Joy-Cons is great, and we can't forget the obvious boost in quality compared to the original Switch, as well as having faster loading time. Finally, the color doesn't look bad itself, although I did enjoy the many different colors in the Joy-Cons themselves, but let's be honest, it feels hard not to make something look good in black. Like I said, the Joy-Cons are much larger, making them more playable in single use. Instead of sliding, they can be popped in and out of the Switch 2, which I guess is just Nintendo making things different. They can even be used as a mouse, which is just Nintendo adding wacky features to their consoles. However, unfortunately I recently heard that there are cases that the Joy-Cons are getting stick drift, which, you know if you experience those horrors. Having to keep buying those damn $70 Joy-Cons just to get repeatedly railed by stick drift? Knowing this, come on Nintendo, you had literally 8 years to make it better. I also do want to quickly mention that the home screen is barely any different than the original, just to add a bit more on why the Switch 2 feels more like an update than a new console. Now, if I'm gonna be honest, the Switch 2 had one of the worst launches in consoles. The only game I hear people talking about is Mario Kart, but let's be honest, Mario Kart is good. The thing about Nintendo, the titles that they only share to themselves, which is why many are driven to get this console. And honestly, the Nintendo side of me flipped many times. Seeing the better quality, even if it should be a standard in the big 2025, seeing the exclusive games that they always release, and being able to play some cool games outside of Nintendo. Even having a bad launch, surely its later releases are worth it. That's until you get hit with every single snatch at your wallet possible. Now, don't get me wrong, obviously the Switch 2 titles have better quality, and some do seem like they'd be worth a good bit of money. Donkey Kong Bonanza looks pretty interesting, and let's not forget about Handicapped Rocket League. God, I still can't believe they made this game. I'm sure it'll be fun though. I'm sure it will. Although these new titles seem interesting, the problem comes into view when you have every single title that comes out that is worth around $80 to $90. You start to wonder if that's worth it. Like, how are you gonna tell me that Mario Kart is just as, if not more expensive than Elden Ring and possibly GTA 6 as well? Games that give you a challenge as well as tons of content. You're gonna sit there and tell me that Mario Kart is the equivalent of games like that? Is it the open world? The open world where you just drive? I can get the same content playing Beam or Truck Simulator. Not to mention, Mario Kart World doesn't even have 200cc. And don't even get me started on what you have to go through to transfer your Switch games to the Switch 2. I never had to spend a dime trying to play my DS games on the 3DS. I simply had to pop the cartridge in and boom, it works. A Pro Controller, $80. The camera that gives you access to that poor quality Discord feature, $50. Hell, they even charge you $10 to use their tutorial. $10 to try and figure out how to use the damn thing. At this point, they might even start charging you to connect your Switch to the damn Wi-Fi. I would also talk about the keys on the physical copies, but I heard that they're for different reasons than we think. You are going to be dropping around $1,000 when you first get the Switch 2. And honestly, I wouldn't mind spending $500 on it. I've dropped around that much money on a Steam Deck, but the difference is that the Steam Deck can give me so much more content than the Switch 2 in terms of handheld. I honestly like some of the things that the Switch 2 has to offer, but I think we can agree the Switch 2 was made behind blatant greed. To be fair, this isn't the only time that Nintendo has been greedy. Let's not pretend that they haven't been remastering games and charging them at full price. I'm sure you wanted to pay full price to play Super Mario 64 on the Switch. Side note, I was looking up original prices for some games, and why the hell is Super Mario 3D All-Stars priced so damn high? Did I miss something? Damn, must be the scalpers. Nintendo does this because they know it works, and honestly, they're not the only company that does this. Trust me, I've seen worse. There are games where you have the possibility to drop the amount of a Nintendo Switch for a character. A character! They priced the hell out of the Switch 2. Its launch having only one good game doesn't feel worth it. Dropping almost $100 on every single title doesn't feel that good. But there's obviously an audience that has that money. And honestly, we should attack those people for it. If you had the chance, I know for a fact you'd probably get the Switch too. I mean, to be fair, I can't even blame people for getting it. Nintendo stood behind pure nostalgia for years. We all play games that were fun as hell, as well as memorable. You know what's funny? At one point, Nintendo pretty much said that if you're a broke boy, just say so. And they're kinda not wrong. Obviously, some people don't have the money, but there's obviously enough that are willing to buy it. If anything, the Switch 2 broke sales records. They sold over 3 million units within 4 days. It just feels like a slap to the face when Nintendo was once known as a console for everyone. But, like I said, I don't want to make this video to hate on anyone who buys the Switch 2. It's their life, they decide on what they want. I definitely agree it's weird and cringe as hell how some people attack others for that. I simply wanted to make this video to yap and share my thoughts on it. Especially as someone who has played Nintendo since I was able to play video games. The first video game I ever played was Super Mario Bros. 3. Now, would I recommend getting a Switch 2? Probably not. If you do, then wait for more titles to come out. Because let's be honest, the only game that's popping off right now is Mario Kart World. Anyway, that's enough of me yapping. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see y'all later.